Hi, scholars. If you hear some whining in the background, it's my dog, but she's okay. She just wants to play. We are going to get started on another context clues lessons. We're going to be reading a nonfiction passages, which means that the texts are true and they're based on true facts. There are words that are identified that we don't know in nonfiction passages, and we're going to use context clues to figure out what we think the word means. And I'm going to model that for you first with this passage, Into the Flames. And I'm going to be modeling figuring out the words smoke jumpers and remote. All right, let's go ahead and read. So, Into the Flames. I'm going to read the passage first, then I'll go back and try to identify the words and their meanings. An alarm sounds at the base. Smoke jumpers quickly grab their gear. Minutes later, they are getting ready to jump out of an airplane. Their parachutes open and they land near a blazing wildfire. Smoke jumpers are firefighters with special training. They jump from planes into wildfire areas that are remote or hard to reach. The smoke jumpers carry enough food and water with them to survive for several days. That's all that I'm going to read for now because I'm going to identify what the meanings of smoke jumpers and remote were. So what I want to do and what you're going to want to do with your highlighter in your passage is I'm going to go ahead and get my highlighter tool ready, and I'm going to highlight my term, smoke jumpers, term or word smoke jumpers. And I'm looking around the text to see if I can figure out what it means. So I'm going to reread that part of the text. It says, an alarm sounds at the base. Smoke jumpers quickly grab their gear. That doesn't tell me what smoke jumpers mean, so I'm going to keep going. Minutes later, they are getting ready to jump out of an airplane. Their parachutes open and they land near a blazing wildfire. Okay, so that's sort of an example that tells me what the smoke jumpers are doing, but let's see if I can keep reading, see if it'll give me a definition. Okay, next one, it says smoke jumpers are firefighters with special training. They jump from planes into wildfire areas that are remote or hard to reach. Okay, so even though up here I'm highlighting it so you can see it, I got an example. My actual meaning of smoke jumpers is down here. Well, let me put it in a different color. It says smoke jumpers are firefighters with special training, and their special training is jumping from planes into wildfire areas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my graphic organizer and I'm going to write my clues. So I'm going to write firefighters. I'm basically writing what I highlighted in the text. Jump from planes into wildfires. And I could put from the example where they have parachutes. So using these clues from the text, what can I say that smoke jumpers means? That's this column, what I think the word means. So from the definition and example in the text, I know that smoke jumpers are firefighters, and you would be writing this in your graphic organizers, firefighters that jump out of planes to stop wildfires. Okay, so notice what I did. I read the text first, then I went back and I read around my word, smoke jumpers. I highlighted the clues in the text. Then I came to my graphic organizer. I wrote the clues down in this box. And then in this box, I wrote what I think the word means by putting the clues together. Let's try another one. Let's try remote. I'm going to change my pen color here to red. But I need to come back over to my text because I'm going to be highlighting now. I'll pick a new color for that too. Let's do green. Okay, So here is my word, remote. I've highlighted it in the text. I need to read around it. I'm going to go to the sentence before. It says they jump from planes into wildfire areas that are remote or hard to reach. The smoke jumpers carry enough food and water with them to survive for several days. So what I know from the clues in the text is that where it talks about oops, let me go to my pen. Where it talks about what remote means, it says that remote or hard to reach. I'm circling that. I think that's the important clue for remote. The other words around the text are talking about smoke jumpers. But right in this sentence, it says are remote or hard to reach. So that means that gave me a definition. It gave me words that tells me what remote means. So I'm coming back over into my graphic organizer. And in my clues, I'm going to put definition, because that's what's in the text, and I'm going to even put in quotation marks, hard to reach. And there's not really any clues for me to put together in this word like there were for smoke jumpers. So when I come over to this box for what I think the word means, let's do purple. This one's not really going to be different than my clues from the story box, because I think remote means hard to reach, just like the text says. I could come up with my own word though using my background information. I know if it's hard to reach, that it's isolated. Isolated means it's alone or hard to get to. Okay, so this is exactly what you'll be doing for the practice and the exit ticket, but you're gonna have different words and a different text for the exit ticket. I can't wait to see your great work. Pay attention to my instructions in the next video.